Hi guys, welcome back to Derby Koi. It's a Monday now. Yesterday I went to the Newark show, the Great British Koi Show at the Newark Showground. Now I didn't record, I didn't take my camera to do any recording. Just for once I wanted to go and actually enjoy the show, as in just looking at the fish, chatting, talking to people, not having to worry about filming and recording. And I gotta say, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. When I go recording, I've just got a little screen like this at the back of my camera, and that's how I see most of the fish. If I actually start looking at the fish rather than the camera works all over the place. So I didn't want to concentrate on that. I just wanted to go and enjoy the show, meet people, have a chat, and I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a fantastic show, really was. I had lots of chats with lots of different people. I got there about 10:15, something like that, and I left about 2:50, and I only got around it once. That's how long it took me to get round. The amount of times I was stopping to talk to people and having a chat, and obviously checking out the vats and the stalls and stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed it. If you did stop and talk to me, I want to say a massive thank you. Really thoroughly enjoyed all the chats I had, and a massive thank you to everybody who brought some treats and toys for Bisley. It really means the world to me when people do that. It really does. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. As I said, I didn't film, but I did take some pictures of some of the people I met and had chats with, and Graham took some pictures. Don't think I got everybody, so if your picture's not there, I do apologise. Again, I was just too busy talking. I kept forgetting to take selfies with people, but they did take some pictures, and they should be coming up at the end of the video, this video. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed the show. Can't wait for the next year on that show. I think there is another one, maybe two shows localish to me this year I hopefully can get to. But as for the Newark show, amazing show, much better than last year. Nearly twice as big as it was last year, I'd say. I think there was over 40 show vats this year with some absolutely stunning fish. Now there is some other videos will be out there with other YouTubers put them out there, so go and check them out, check out the fish, because I didn't take any film of them or pictures, but there are some stunning fish out there. I didn't buy anything. I was good. I was tempted. I thought about coming back with a couple of little fish, but at the moment I think I'm okay. So with that, yeah. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you again. Right here, new food. Fish are loving the new food. Absolutely loving it. They're ravenous for it. Can't stop them eating it. My water quality has improved, as in the tannins. The tannins are, I'd say, virtually gone, the tannins in the water. The only issue I'm having with my water is there's lots of particles floating in the water. Now I'm putting that down to the lilies. They've literally destroyed the lilies this year throughout the summer. Summer, yeah, right, okay. What summer? And I think that's the issue. We haven't had much of a summer at all this year. Temperatures have been diabolical this year, so the lilies haven't really had chance to flourish as much as they normally would. Their growth really has been stunted, and obviously with the new shoots coming up, they're just obliterating the new shoots before they actually get a chance to get up. I'm constantly finding bits of lilies floating in the pond, in the skimmer, so I think that is not helping the issue. So what I think I'm going to do is I want to take them out and store them round the back. I'm not so much worried about the particles in the pond. I'm actually more worried about the lily, to be honest, because it is one of my mum's lilies from my mum's pond, and that's something I can't replace. So I do want to try and save that before they really do obliterate it and may cause it to have issues and not grow next year and die off, which I don't want. And as I say, temperatures are dropping. The pond is now down at 16.2 today. It was pretty cold again last night. End of August. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I know this time last year, especially at the show, I was dying of heat. The heat was horrendous there last year. It really was hot in there, but this year I was walking around in my hoodie and a t-shirt and I was fine. So yeah, I think I'm going to get the lily out, stick that round the back. Hopefully that will give it a chance to go and survive through the winter. Last winter I left them in the pond. I didn't think there was any need to take them out, so I cut them all back, but I want to put them around the back. I will get them out in the winter again before the winter starts, just to cut back any dying leaves to give them a chance to survive. And hopefully that's going to help with the clarity of the water a little bit. I have got blanket weed coming in the water as well. That's sun as well. Rather overcast today, not the warmest today, but I'll spin you round. I'll show you what they're doing to my lilies. They're not just attacking the new lilies, to be honest, the new shoots. They're actually munching on the leaves as well, even though I am feeding them quite well. But yeah, the actual tannins in the water, virtually gone. But there is a murkiness to the water because I think of the lilies, so let me spin you around. I don't know if it's actually showing what it's showing on camera, it's very bright on the screen. But the actual tea colour in the water has gone. I'd say 99% gone, but it's not the clearest of water, and this is part of the reason, I think. As you can see, look, they're just munching them to bits. The new leaf here, look, there was a new leaf coming up, a shoot, and they've just, if I can get to it, I'll show you. Ooh. As you can see, they're just munching on. There's one down there coming up, and they've just munched on them, look, and that's what's dying off. There's a piece over there, look, as well. So yeah, this is what they're doing, and all this stuff is breaking off in the pond and causing lots of particles in the pond. Now look, them two there. So yeah, I'm having issues with them. There is new leaves coming up, look, but they're not getting a chance to come to the surface really before they start munching on them and attacking them, which is unusual. They normally leave them alone, but they do. You know, look, yeah, this is what's happening. Look, just literally destroying them. So I think I'm going to get them out. I may have to put a blanket weed treatment in as well. I'll come around here, as you can see, look. There we go, look. I'm starting to get a bit of blanket weed again, or whether I just do the half treatment again to knock it back. Whether you can see it on there, on my feeding ring, it's all around there. Actually quite long now as well, but I don't know if you see that now. It's corner down there. Yeah, I think it's going to need a treatment of that, but I think getting these lilies out are really going to help with some of the particles in the water, and it's going to give the lilies a chance to grow again, because I did trim the roots up before I put them in, and that has stunted the growth a bit this year as well. As for the Hitzuris I put in, the three which were, I mean, they'd had that van to go, they're doing really well. You can see them. I think the sumi's starting to come back on them a little bit now as well, but they're eating really well. And the two chagois that went in, they are very, very greedy. They're virtually pushing Henrietta out of the way for food. There's one coming round now. I think they're getting fed, look. They push Henrietta out of the way. Yeah, so let me get this lily out and get it round the back. Okay, so lily's out. It did murky the water up a little bit, picking a basket out with some dirt. Well, not dirt, there's no dirt in here, but it's just a bit of stuff fell off the top that settled down on the basket itself, so that's dirtied it up. But I've decided to give it a dose of blanket weed treatment. Now I normally use, what I always use, It's my cloverleaf blanket answer. Now, I've got about 2 scoops left in there, so I haven't got enough. So what I'm going to do, what I have got, if you remember, I did a competition some time ago where Newark Koi sent me some food to give away, and a couple of other things I think, and I decided to keep one of the products to test, which was their version of blanket weed treatment, which is their clear waters, the solution against blanket weed. Now I thought I'll give this a try. I will give it the full dose to give it a fair try. Now the full dose for me on this is basically the whole tub. Treats 2,200 gallons or 10,000 litres. I'm virtually 10,000 litres, so I'm going to use the full treatment on this. I haven't looked at it yet, don't know where it is. The blanket answer is normally, well, it's a powder. This sounds a bit more, well, it is a powder. I'll show you what it looks like inside. It does come with a scoop. Well, the blanket answer is white. This is a little bit grainier. I suppose like a bit finer than sand, and it's got an unusual smell. Quite a nice smell, to be honest. Don't know what it is, but it's quite a nice smell to it. So we'll get this in the bucket, see how it mixes, and then we'll pour it around the pond, and we'll see how it does. Because it is getting, I know temperatures are starting to drop a little bit, but the blanket weed is starting to pick up a little bit over the last week. It really has taken off. So all we can do is try it. So yeah, let me get this mixed up and we'll get in the pond. Okay, so this is the clear water stuff mixed up. It's more of a yellowy colour than white. Blanket weed, blanket answer is very white, and this is quite yellow, and it has got this around the foam on the top, a little bit like Learnex Pro does. But it mixed okay, so we'll get this around the pond. Hopefully it'll do the job. Okay, that's it in the pond. As you can see, there is a little bit of the foamy stuff, unlike it does with the Learnex Pro. So yeah, we'll see how it does. Hopefully it doesn't irritate the fish, and hopefully it does the job. So when I put the blanket answer in, it's probably a good 24 hours before it starts to clear up the pond, so we shall see. Right, come round to the bunker while that blanket answer is working around the pond. I'll let it run around for about 5 minutes, something like that, just to clear it, get around a bit, and I'll then put the bypass on so it's not going through the upflow filter to take it out too quick. So it's just hopefully staying in the pond and going through the main filter. But while I was at the Newark show yesterday, a mate of mine, Paul Smith, brought me this. It's a kilo of the Takazumi mix to try. You know, as I'm testing various foods. So what I'm going to do, I'm sticking with the sake curry on the main pond because I'm absolutely loving that at the moment. It is clear enough, but I want to try it, see how the ones in the bunker get on with it. It's quite a small or a medium pellet, so I'm going to try that in the bunker. But what I'm going to do as well is try it in a cup, a clear cup. So I'm going to put some in there in the water from out the bunker, leave it for 2 hours, come back and check on it, then I'll leave it overnight again and check on, I think it was about 18 hours last time. So yeah, to see what comes out of the Takazumi mix, and I'll see how these fish get on with it. As I said, when I run out of their the Newark Koi food in here, I am going to change their food, whether the sake akari or I may even look into the Takazumi, so we'll see. But as I said, the main pond are loving the sake akari. But Paul, cheers mate, really appreciate it. I'm going to give this a try. So yeah, I'll put you down, I'll get some water in a cup and put some in, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so there's some in to start with, the white cloth behind it. A little tiny bit of dust particles come off it, so but not too bad. I'll try to get some white behind it, whether that shows up. Yeah, there wasn't that many particles on there of the dust particles from the food. So yeah, we'll come back in a few hours and see how it does. Okay guys, back in the bunker. It's now been about 2 hours, and this is the Takazumi mix. Now it's definitely not as clear as the sake akari. Can't remember if it's as clear as any the Newark Koi mix that I used. Might not be the best light, but yeah. So I don't know how so this isn't probably very scientific. This is just me doing a test on foods. Don't know if this is going to have any effect on the water. But what I am going to do, because I've got a kilo of it, I've got to put some in here, I've got some left in the bag. I am feeding at the moment the Kenko, the Newark Koi Kenko mix, which is in there. So what I'm going to do, because obviously I'm still feeding that Newark Koi food in here, and the water quality isn't the best, as in the tannins in the water. So what I'm going to do for a while now, I'm going to stop feeding the Kenko mix and just feed this Takazumi mix until I run out. I know, I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll give it, I don't know, say a week and see if the fish like it, see what it does to the water. That's the only test I can really do. I have done a major water change today, so it has cleared the water up a little bit in here, because I hadn't done the filters for probably a day and a half later than normal. So I want to see it then levels back down. So I've done quite a big water change in here, so that's affected what's in here. But I'll try them on these for a while, at least a week, see how they get on. And I'm actually thinking at some point moving the one Shiro, the bigger one, down there into the main pond, because he's starting to lose a little bit. Assuming he's starting to drop off just a little bit on him, especially on his shoulders a little bit. So we'll see how he goes. But yeah, apart from that, all good in here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this here now for a bit longer, and I'll come back tomorrow morning, maybe. Is that 12 hours? So yeah, before I go to work, I'll do a quick film of this. That'll be about the 18 hours, and we'll see what it's done to that. Expansion wise, if I can get that out there, if I can get some out of this one-handed, something I should have done on the other, to test in with the others, to be honest. There we go. You can see that, how it's expanded. Probably 3 to 4 times. Some are 3. The red ones, the darker ones, I say about 3 times. The lighter ones probably expand a little bit more on them. But yeah, we'll come back to that in the morning and see what it looks like. Okay guys, so I've just gone from work. It's been just over, how long is this treatment in the pond? The pond itself, the blanket weed, is probably about 19 hours at the moment. So looking at it compared to the blanket answer, I think it's a little bit clearer than it normally would be at this point. So I'll spin you around and you can have a look. We have had some major rain here today, absolutely torrential rain. And for some unknown reason, whenever it rains around here, my clarity of the water goes really bad, but I know it's still some of that treatment in there as well. So whether that's anything to do with it, but I think it's, after that short period of time compared to the blanket answer, I think it's a little bit better. So I'll spin you around. Okay, so now I don't know what you can see on camera. There's a bit of quite a glare on the pond at the moment, but looking at the water from where I can see, as I said, I think it's a little clearer than the blanket answer after this amount of time. But what I have noticed, normally with the blanket answer, all around the edges and on the floor, you normally get the white powder on there, but I'm getting none of that. There's a little, I mean, see if we can get a bit closer onto the blanket weed. If there's anything, it's very, very light dusting, extremely light dusting on there. And there's, I suppose on the bottom there might be a tiny bit more, but compared to the blanket answer, nowhere near as much as settling on the blanket weed. Whether that's going to affect the how it works, I don't know, because I've said this is the first time I've used this stuff, so it'd be interesting to see how it does. Blanket answer at this point, I'll probably at least take 7 to 10 days before I actually start to notice anything, I suppose, at least a week. So I'm going to give it a week obviously to see if it starts knocking it back. Hopefully it will. I know some other people have used it and they said it's really good stuff, so it'd be interesting to see myself. But as I say, as for the clarity in the pond after just under 20 hours, I suppose, around there, it's not too bad. Okay, so that's the main pond. So what we'll do now is we'll pop round to the bunker and have a look in the bunker, and we'll check on that food. The food, it's probably been about, I say, about 18 hours for the food. So which was the Takazumi mix which Paul gave me. So lucky myself. First time I've just got back from work. So it's probably been just over the 18 hours for this one. I did put this in after, hour and a half, 2 hours after I put the stuff in the main pond. So again, we'll spin you around and we'll have a look at this, what it looks like after the 18 hours. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. That's 18 hours. It's definitely not as clear as the Saki Ikari, and I can't remember, compared to the Kenko food, the Newark Koi food, what the difference is on that one. But I'll see if we can get a picture on screen to compare them. But that's after 18 hours. Whether the tannins from that food will go into the water, I do not know, which is why I'm going to test it in the in this tank with these koi in here. I'm just going to feed them the Kenko mix for at least a week, maybe longer, and we'll see how they get on with it and what it does to the water. But as I say, whether that would leach into the water, I do not know. As I said before, it's not a laboratory. I don't know how scientific it is. It's not very scientific, I know. And I know you wouldn't leave the food in the water for that amount of time, but as I said before, the fish are eating this, so that's going into the fish, and what the fish goes in must come out at some point, some way. But whether it is that, whether that will come out, I don't know. But we can only try. Okay, so as I said, I'll keep you updated on the food, on this Takazumi mix, and I'll keep you updated on the sake ikari on the main pond. Now, temperatures have been absolutely awful, absolutely awful. So what I think I might do is I'll look on the weather for the next few days. I'll see if I can fire the heater up in here, and it has been a while since it's been run. Hopefully it's going to fire up, fingers crossed, but no more, not the way it's going. It won't fire up, we'll have to wait and see. And if it don't, I'll have to figure it out again. But last time it was working, it worked absolutely perfect. And I just shut it off because the temperature had picked up again. But the temperature is starting to drop now because we haven't had a summer. I mean, end of August and it's freezing, ridiculous. Anyway, that's it for now. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit that bell for your notifications. Pop on out to Facebook and Instagram. So until the next one, stay safe. Job's a good one.